science time. It's science time. Let's all be ready now. It's science time. What do we do during science time? We observe, we compare, identify, classify, infer, test, hypothesize. We read a lot, understand them well. Science facts we tell.
Agham morning, little scientists! Welcome to Valenzuela Facebook Live Science 5. I am Teacher Ann from Andres Mariano Elementary School, your science teacher for today. So kids, are you ready to learn new things today? Great! Come on, let's explore the amazing world of science. Based on the MELT of Science Grade 5, here is the objective that will guide us along the way. For today's lesson, you are able to conduct a simple investigation on the extent of soil erosion in the community by identifying the factors affecting soil erosion. Before we start, let me remind you of our house rules.
As we start, you may now type your complete name and the name of your school for your attendance, and for me to acknowledge your presence, just like the example. And if you have clarifications, reactions, comments, just feel free to type it down in the comment section below. I'll be glad to answer some of your questions after the lesson. You may also bring out pen and paper that you could use in jotting down some important concepts in our lesson.
Can you still recall the previous lesson in Science 5 Live last week? Great! It is about the mechanical and chemical weathering. Let's go back to the last lesson that you had for a short review. Type the word fact in the comment section if the statement is true or correct, and bluff if the statement is false or incorrect. If you know the answer, type it down in the comment section. Are you ready, kids? Great! Let's start!
Number 1. Chemical weathering occurs when bonds between particles are broken by chemical reactions, while mechanical weathering can occur through changes in the environment. Is it a pack or a blob? The answer is fact. Number 2. Chemical and mechanical weathering are both natural processes that will break down rocks. Is it a pack or a blob? The answer is blob. Number 3. Chemical and mechanical weathering has the same processes in breaking down rocks. Is it a pack or a blob? The answer is blob. Number 4. Mechanical weathering and chemical weathering both describe the process of breaking down rocks and other rock materials. Is it a fact or a blob? The answer is fact. Number 5. Chemical weathering causes changes in rock composition, while in mechanical weathering, there is no changing in the physical composition of the rocks. Is it a fact or a bluff? The answer is bluff.
Thank you, kids, for your quick responses. It only proves that you really learned a lot from your previous lesson. Keep it up! Trivia time!
Did you know? Volcanic eruptions can move rocks and soil and change the landscape. When Mount Pinatubo in Zambales erupted in June 15, 1991, lahar flowed and covered the fields and rivers, making the place look like a desert.
Let's do something fun. We are going to play a game code or a code game. There are three mystery boxes here with mystery words inside. I want you to decode the number that will be shown in a little while. All you have to do is to decode the given numbers into the responding letters in the alphabet. Since there are 26 letters in the alphabet, it means that 1 is A, 2 is B, 3 is C, 4 is D, and so on. I will give you 30 seconds to decode it. If you already know the answer, you can type it in the comment section. Did you get it? Great! Let's have now the first code. Very good, kids. The answer is soil. Soil is made up of fine rock particles, the decayed remains of plants and animals, water, and air. Now, get ready for the second code. Good job, kids! The answer is sediment. Sediment is a solid material that is moved and deposited in a new location. Sediment can consist of rocks and minerals, as well as the remains of plants and animals. Here is the third and last code. Amazing! The answer is erosion. Erosion is the movement of rock and soil from one place to another. Does soil formation and erosion alter the Earth's surface? Observe some areas around your home. Do you see signs that soil has been moved? If so, the erosion has taken place. Erosion is brought about by natural forces like running water and wind. The rock particles are the result of weathering. The organic part of soil comes from the organisms that normally live in soil, such as burrowing animals, earthworms, insects, tiny algae, fungi, and bacteria. Water and air occupy spaces between the soil particles. Soil may be formed from the bedrock, in which case it is called residual soil. On the other hand, soil may be formed from the sediments that wind and or water has deposited over the bedrock. This is called transported soil. The natural process by which soil is transported to another place is known as soil erosion. It happens by the action of wind or water. There are four agents of soil erosion. Let us find out what are those. We are going to do an experiment. Let's watch and observe. In the experiment shown, what causes the soil to erode? Excellent! The answer is water. The experiment shows that as water flows, it transports rock and soil particles from one place to another. The speed of flowing water affects the rate of erosion. The faster the water flows, the faster and farther the erosion would be. Faster movement of water can cause many sediments to be carried away by the water. Observe the ground when it rains hard. Do you see the soil being splashed around? As the water flows along the ground, do you notice that it becomes light brown in color? What does it show? Rainwater that flows on the ground carries with it particles of soil, so it looks muddy. Floods during rainy seasons also carry away soil, which is deposited in rivers. Running water, like floods and rivers, have force. The force of running water carries soil away to other places. How land slope affects erosion. A slope is an inclined surface of land. The slope of a land affects the rate of soil erosion. Roots of trees and other plants absorb as it rains, but some unabsorbed water still flows underward and washing away soil. If the surface is greatly slanted, the water that flows has greater force and thus carries more soil. The result to greater and faster erosion. Since the rate of erosion is faster and greater on land with steeper slopes, there is also a great possibility for a landslide, or the downward sliding of mass of rocks and soil to occur. It is not advisable to build houses on the mountainsides or hillsides. Let's have another experiment. Let's watch and observe. In the second experiment shown, what causes the soil to erode? Excellent! The answer is air or wind. The experiment shows that
As the wind blows, it carries light particles of rocks and soil, transporting and depositing them in another place. Strong winds transport a large volume of soil particles into the air, resulting in dust storms.
run your finger on the window sill. Do you notice that some dust clings to your fingers? Dust can have very tiny particles of soil. The particles are so light, they can be easily blown away by the wind. In the desert, when a strong wind blows, particles of dust are carried far away. Sometimes, big rocks are left on the surface when much dust is blown away. Particles of dust also scrape the surface of big rocks. This happens when strong wind blows dust against the rock surface. The rock may become of different shapes through the years. Now, let's have 4 picks, 1 word. I'm sure you're already familiar with this game. So let's go. Solve the 4 picks, 1 word to reveal the third agent of soil erosion. Type your answer in the comment section. Very good, kids. The answer is animals. Animals also contribute to the transportation of sediments. How do animals erode the soil? When burrowing animals dig the ground, some rock and soil particles stick to their bodies and fur. Observe some chickens as they look for food. They scratch the ground using their sharp claws. Soil is moved as they scratch the ground. Some animals, like snake, mole, termite, and ants, make a burrow or hole in the ground for their shelter. Big groups of herds of animals that run across a field which is not protected by plants causes plenty of dust in the air. This dust is easily blown away by winds. Let's have another 4 picks, 1 word. Solve this to reveal the fourth agent of soil erosion. Type your answer in the comment section. Excellent! The answer is humans. Are you aware that, like the water, wind, and animals, you can also cause a soil erosion? How? Look at the soles of your shoes or slippers. Are there particles of soil that stick to them? As you walk on the ground, some particles of soil stick to the soles of your footwear. The amount of soil may be little, but if you think of all the people who walk from one place to another every day, then the amount could be much. Humans can cause soil erosion in other ways. For example, in gardening, it also causes erosion since soil moves as we dig the ground. Another one is quarrying. It has a big contribution to soil erosion. The impact created by blasting rocks and soil particles triggers soil erosion. Huge volumes of soil and sand also get transported when they are used in construction of houses and other infrastructure. Again, the 4 agents of soil erosion are water, wind, animals, and humans. Now, let us find out if you understand today's lesson. Let's wrap it up. Choose the letter of the correct answer. Type your answer in the comment box. You will be given 10 seconds to answer each question. Let's start. Did you get all the correct answers, kids? Great job! Do you want more? Okay, let's have Science Challenge. On your paper, write the word true if the statement is correct and false if not. You will be given 2 minutes to answer this and your timer starts now. Time is up. Let's check your answers. Do you have the same answers with these kids? Scientific. This time, let us take a look on the concept that you have learned today. Soil erosion is a process of soil particles transport from one place to another. Soil does not stay in one place for a long period of time. It is moved from one place to another by the following factors or agents, such as water, wind, animals, and humans. So that's all for today, kids. Once again, I am Teacher Ann from Andres Mariano Elementary School. Thank you so much for listening and see you on the next fun and exciting lessons here in Valenzuela Facebook Live Science 5. Have a great day. Keep safe, kids. Goodbye.